Let's go to Arizona and talk to Jordan. What's up, Jordan?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
All right. So what's up?
All right. My husband and I have a 3-month-old daughter, and he's really, really great with her. But there are times that fairly often he gets really frustrated so fast, so frustrated so fast with himself when she's crying that he can't calm her or whatever's going on. And then he just shuts down for the rest of the day. Because in his words, he thought he'd be better than this. And I've tried to encourage him and tell him that he really is doing great. She's a baby. She can only cry. She can't communicate any other way. And he's not really doing anything wrong. He just gets so frustrated with himself because he thought he'd be better. And he's so good with the nieces and his nephews, but he's struggling with his own child.
Is this your first kid?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Can you have him call me? Because I've been here. I've been here.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I've told him it's all so normal, but he just can't get past it sometimes in his own head, and he just gets stuck there, like in his own head, and he's, in his words, he gets like depressed,
absolutely.
for a day or so, and then he'll come back. But I just don't know. And I guess my question is how to keep encouraging him without, telling him what to do or to be degrading. In a sense, I just want him to know he's actually doing well, and then, not get so hurt and like down on himself.
Yes. All of this is easier said than done.
Right.
And here's my guess. You said he's really good with nieces and nephews. Is he like the fun uncle?
They're all fun. He's one of 5 uncles. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So I'll tell you, because he's not on the phone with me, so I'll just speak to you and to the people listening. Okay. Number one, thank you so much for calling. This is one of those calls that will end up doing really well because it's going to help a lot of folks, okay? Your husband has probably been telling himself for a long time he's going to be better than all the other dads. And he is going to be the dad who shows up and is present with his daughter, and he is going to raise a great daughter, right? Am I on the right track?
Yeah.
He's going to be the dad. And he's got some experience with kids. Not real experience, but pretend experience. He's played and got a lot of laughs and done some wrestling, and he is the cool one of several cool uncles. And so it gives a false sense of what the day in and day out is like. And then you have a newborn that is basically like a wet potato that screams, right? It's just like a towel. And I was wholly unprepared for how, what a complete failure I was. But here's why. I chalked up success to, I could get my daughter and son to stop crying. They would smile when I came in the room. They would always want to reach out to me. And even though I would never say this out loud, I wanted to be the cool parent. I wanted my kids when they were like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months old, when they don't even know they know nothing other than food, sleep, and cha-cha, right? I wanted to be I wanted to be like the dad that the kid reached for instead of mom. And I would be like, sorry, hon, he loves me more, or she loves me more, like whatever. And none of that happened because I have no food. None of it happened. And so here was a huge bellwether moment for me. I came home from class one day, and it was one I was back in grad school again like an idiot, and my son was 2, I think. And I came home, and he was waddle walking, as they do, and he could say a few words. He was a pretty late talker, and he shows up at the front door as I'm walking in, and I said, "Hey, Bubba, come give me a hug." Because I wanted to be that dad that always came in and dropped all my stuff and was present with the kids and blah, 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 blah. And he looked at me and said, "No, Daddy." And he turns and sprints down the hall in his little waddle walkie way. Come to think about it, our favorite game, his only way of engaging with me, right? Because I don't have food, and his way of engaging with me was playing tag, playing hide and seek, playing silly, rambunctious games. And so his way of saying, "I love you and I'm so glad to see you," was, let's go right into playing a game. And when he said, "No, Daddy," and turned off down the hallway, my first thought in my mind was, of course, because you suck at being a dad. You're never here. You're not right. And then this internal dialogue about how lame I was starts. I'm going to be a failure just like every other stupid dad. My own son doesn't even want to hug me. And now I'm off to the races, right? And so here was the big moment for me. And I'm saying this, and you can pass this along to your husband. Just know he's not going to hear you. There's no way he hears this, okay? But it'll feel good for you to say it out loud. The phrase here, he doesn't get a vote. She doesn't get a vote. Why? Because she's 3 months old. And she doesn't have permission to hurt my feelings. And it took me a while with my son. And then when my daughter came along, it was even more hard because she weaponizes love because she's my little girl and she's hilarious about it. But I had to decide my children don't have permission to hurt my feelings. And that was the magic for me. And now I can say, hey, this is what we're having for dinner. I'm not eating that. It's yuck. Blah, blah. That's not knock your lights out. I worked really hard on this. I think it's delicious. And so this is what we're having. And I'm not going to let you hurt my feelings because as a society, we have decided because your brains don't work properly, you can't drink, you can't buy beer, you can't buy guns, lottery tickets, you can't sign contracts. And so why in the world would I give you access to my feelings and emotions? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is something your husband's going to have to practice, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's going to be hard for both of you. I do think it's important for you when he is unplugging and checking out and going off, it sounds like he gets depressed. Can I tell you what it really is? It's a temper tantrum.
Okay.
It's a childish response to not getting his way because he wanted the baby to reach out and hug him and the baby just screams and cries until mom picks her up. That's a temper tantrum. And he's going to have to decide, all right, I'm not letting this 3-month-old have a vote into my life. And I'm going to keep showing up because I'm an adult and that's what adults do. We keep showing up. Mm-hmm. We keep showing up. We keep showing up. I'm going to change the diaper. I'm going to change the diaper. I'm going to do it wrong. She's going to kick and scream even when I'm doing it right. I'm going to feed with the bottle and she's going to still scream for mom and you're going to get frustrated and he's going to get frustrated. But I'm going to keep showing up and I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep showing up. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what parenting is. And what y'all need to have, the conversation y'all can have is less about how he's feeling because he's going to practice over time, not letting this little girl hurt his heart, right? Because he's the adult and she's a child. What you need to be clear with him about is what you need on the show up times. Even when you don't feel like it, here's what I need you to show up. Here's what I need you to show up. Even though you don't feel like it, I need you to keep showing up. Does that make sense? That's maturity. That's adults.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he get hard to be around when he gets depressive or gets pissy?
He doesn't really get pissy. He just gets so sad. Like it hurts me. Like, and I feel so bad because I can't help him in those moments.
Yeah. So this is a phrase that's
guilty.
It's going to make the internet's not too happy with me. That's fine. He has to choose. He's got to stop choosing sadness. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's hard because it's like, you can't choose sadness. You just feel sad. I'm going to choose. Or when that initial, oh my gosh, my daughter hates me. Then it's very clear. No, she doesn't. She's 3 months old. She's just hungry. She is in her what the 4th trimester, right?
Yeah.
She's still developing, right? Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. He's going to have to start choosing to not just go down the rabbit hole of sadness and worry and it's all coming down and I just suck at this and I hate my daughter hates me. She doesn't, right?
No. I mean, and she smiles at him or she smiles at me. Like she loves him and it's very obvious, but then there's the moments where she needs something and she can't tell us and the switch flips so fast.
Yeah.
And that's
it's just a big kid temper tantrum that he's doing. And so, and I say that like having done a million of them myself and also saying this on the back end of this thing, choosing, like making the affirmative decision. I'm not going to let my kids hurt my feelings. I'm going to be the adult in this interaction. My body relaxed. And kids pick up tension. When you hold a kid and you're tense, they feel that, and it feels uncomfortable for them. When you're relaxed and you're hanging on to them, they could settle into that. And kids pick up that angst, and they pick up that anxiety, and they pick up that tense feeling, those tense muscles. Am I doing this right? I don't know and they don't want to be around that. And so when I quit giving kids access to my soul, like you don't get to hurt my feelings, then I'd be much more relaxed. And then when I'm much more relaxed, kids are much more likely to lean into that. And then with my daughter, I've talked about this on the show, like age 3, age 4, she was so all about her mom, especially during COVID when they were at home together and I was at work. She wanted nothing to do with me. And it really was heartbreaking. Like she would say, Daddy, I don't ever want to hug you, ever. And I'd say, thank you for sharing that with me. And I'd go in my room and be like, oh, I'm the worst, right? And then you just hang in there. And I kept showing up and I kept showing up. And now it's Hugfest 2000. Last night, my wife and I and my daughter went to get tacos and burritos at this local joint here. And I saw my daughter. And dude, she squeezed my neck off my body. And it felt so good in my soul. So tell your husband it's coming. It's going to come. Just he's got to keep showing up. He's got to keep showing up. He's got to choose joy. And choose to keep showing up. Great. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this call, Jordan. You're awesome.